Beyond Meat slashes workforce as business model is under fire. Plant-based frontrunner Beyond Meat has cut its annual revenue for the second time this year. The company now expects a revenue of $330 to $340 million instead of its prior range of $360 to $380 million. The El Segundo, California-based company also announced job cuts of about 19 of its workforce as well as a review of its global operations as part of a cost reduction plan. Demand for plant-based products have been declining as consumers continue to cut back on spending and have voiced a yearning for simpler ingredients. Between competition from Tyson Foods' plant-based products and privately owned Impossible Foods as well as shoppers looking to curtail spending, Beyond Meat is in a tough spot. Last quarter, the Beyond Burger maker's revenue slid by almost a third, and last year CEO Ethan Brown announced layoffs of around 200 employees to drive more sustainable growth. Now, Beyond Meat is expecting sales to be down by $9 to $75 million versus a previous consensus of $87 million for its third quarter results. They'll never be a standalone company. This is just a brand waiting to be acquired by a big conglomerate. Possibly out of ch.11. Founders just shit on retail and made billions while investors lost everything. Another useless product of the free money era. Company was priced at IPO as if they had invented vegetables and gotten themselves a patent until the end of time. Anecdotal, but as a vegetarian, I only will eat a Beyond Burger if it's at a restaurant. The taste is pretty good, but it has always been double to triple the price to buy in stores of other meat replacements that taste just as good, if not better. I have never bought Beyond Meat in a store for that reason. Business model? The business model is 150 years old. The problem is product just costs too much for a mediocre product. I have family that works in food ordering and restaurant inventory. I've been telling people for a long time that this company is struggling just to maintain market share. They are losing shelf space and menu space and their growth prospects are poor. This is a Western-only invention and it's designed for people that used to eat meat and chose to switch to being vegetarian. In India, which has a vegetarian population greater than the entire population of America, none of the vegetarians have ever tasted beef. Why would they want to eat this product? But the input costs for real meat are a gazillion times higher. So a fake meat that charges 2-4x should blow meat away in profitability regardless of scale. This investment logic is bulletproof. The product tastes great, but it's too damn expensive. I buy it only when it's a BOGO. I know someone who worked there. He told me one of the issue is that the culture is heavily hardcore activist vegans. There's a lot of potential for a meat alternative that advertises itself as taste the same, but better for the environment, your health, your wallet. But if you're trying to be anti-meat eater, you're only going to get the vegetarians buying your product. And those people don't mind a black beans burger and are not necessarily interested in a meat-alike burger. They're trying to turn it around now, but it's way late. No one can afford meat. No one can even afford fake meat. I guess we can all eat crickets. Don't worry guys. Inflation is only for nothing to see here. People are all looking at the wrong issue. Nothing wrong with the burger. There are just many own brands of supermarkets that did the same. Holy Veggie FTW. Biggest issue is legit the price. If you want bigger market share, you can't just target the middle-class hipster who thinks you're an asshole for eating real meat. You need to make it as cheap as real meat to gain any real impact at all. I would love to cut out more meat from my diet with plant-based meats, but Jesus, that cost of it is Not worth it at all. I like their food, but it's a rip-off. Other plant-based food companies are much cheap corn. Linda McCartney. Who would have thought that ultra-processed synthetically produced meat would flop? Isn't this the same company that had the executive bite someone's nose off due to road rage? Well, when the CEO bites someone's nose, it kinda shows the direction of the company. Old news. But it still baffles me and is kind of funny to me. Since they are a vegetarian food company and he was technically a cannibal for a moment. Inflation is high, and people have hard lives. The result is that they want to eat good food. Many times that food is unhealthy. Some of the busiest restaurants around me are fried chicken places, i.e. Chick-fil-A, Dave's Hot Chicken, Raising Cane's, etc. Also, fake meat just doesn't taste as good to most people. While I don't eat fried chicken, I don't think anything is wrong with eating real meat, i.e. chicken, beef, etc., especially if you moderate your portions and include plenty of vegetables, fruits, etc. in your diet. I still think there's a world where the green PETA crowd make meat alts big. The problem is their products suck and are more expensive than the real thing. I'm not paying $7 a pound for processed goop when I can get 80/20 for under $3. As a vegetarian, I actually really like Beyond and Impossible and go out of my way to buy both brands at Costco. Beyond is in my mind the extreme example of outstanding product. Shit company stock. I always sub for Beyond Meat at places that have garbage meat in the first place. I actually enjoy the taste and texture. Now I'm not going to a steakhouse and asking for it, but a burger at a drive-thru makes it an easy choice. Why did their stock price spike then? Contemplated buying this in late 2019. Holy hell, did I dodge a bullet? Because their product sucks. This fake meat is disgusting and most people agree. You mean eating a bunch of chemicals and artificial ingredients with half the nutrition of the real thing wasn't going to work out in the long run? Who would have thought? Who thinks eating this garbage is good for you? If you want to be a vegan vegetarian, stick to real veggies which are healthy and provide most of the nutrients you need. This processed trash with 50 ingredients is not good for you. Wait, you mean to tell me people don't want to eat fake meat? I'm a vegetarian and it's extremely irritating that some places have an entirely vegan-based menu, but call it a vegetarian option. Vegan burger with vegan cheese and mayonnaise is not vegetarian. I'm all for saving the planet and animals, but different people make different food choices. No need to shove ultra-processed vegan food on menus and call it vegetarian. So market demand has nothing to do with y'all's reasoning as to why a fake meat company is floundering. Weird. NGLI really like Beyond Meat's products, but actual meat is always cheaper. My question is to vegans or vegetarians. Why does one think Beyond Meat is safer? Less chemicals than farm fresh meat? This sounds to me like fake food is not selling. Demand for plant-based products have been declining as consumers continue to cut back on spending and have voiced a yearning for simpler ingredients. Please define what plant-based is means. Read the actual ingredients. The only people I know who ate this trash are very out of shape. Then they have the gall to tell me they feel healthier. Haha, okay, your gut tells me otherwise, rolling on the floor laughing. This post reminds me that I left my wallet in El Segundo. They'll get acquired soon enough. It's also a pretty gross product, so there's that.